Hello and welcome. It's another edition of Weighted to Win. Obviously looking forward to the meeting out at the Vaal. I know there's been a bit of rain on the half-out during the course of the weekend, and being a recorded show, I know that Monday there was quite a bit of rain on the half-out as well. Just another reminder about that social media strap. Pop us a message. Let's try and find you a few winners. All the information up on your screen at the moment, and we're going to dive straight into it. So it is a Tuesday, and we're looking forward to this particular race. The 9th of May. Just having a look at race number 2. 12:15 is the off time, and I see the market's pretty stagnant at the moment. 1 Jet Dynasty 22-10, 3 Future Wolf 28-10, 2 Street Art at 9-2, and the 4 Haslo Grandes at 5-1, at 6-1, and better bar those. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go to Daryl Marie first to welcome him. Daryl, thank you very much for joining us. Obviously a good card in front of us. No racing on Monday, so all systems go for Tuesday.
Yes, let's hope we race well fresh. Nice little break in between. Brandon, this horse, you touch on the going. Take note, the viewers must have a look at the penetrometer reading. I'm sure the track's going to come up soft. I've had a lot of rain in the south of Joburg, probably about 40 minutes away from the track. Future Wolf, he's won on the soft conditions, in the soft conditions on the Standside track, and that's a testing 2000. Striker takes the ride for Fani Bronkhorst. He's actually beaten Jet Dynasty, and he's only half a kilogram worse off. So I'm going to go 3 from 1 in the opening leg of the bipods.
All right, 3 Future Wolf 28-10. The 1 horse Jet Dynasty, who does need speed to aim at, is at 22-10, and then Street Art at 9-2. This will all change. It's a pre-recorded show. Let's go to Darren Burrows on the line. Darren, welcome. Good weekend of racing. I know it was tough at Turfentine on Sunday. How are you playing? I saw a tweet from you that you've got a few winners, and obviously the dogs are barking about a few horses that you like for the rest of the week.
Yes, Brandon. Yeah, it was a good start to last week. It didn't end on a high because Sunday was very difficult. I think it was a carryover pick 6 as well. The disappointment on the day had to be Shangani. He looked very flat on the day. Then on to this race 2. Now, Jet Dynasty, he's a 3-year-old on the up. And he could win this race, but he normally needs a speed on. And I don't think he's going to have a pace to work with. So maybe he'll go handy in a race like this and try and stay on. Future Wolf does hold him on that run on the 25th of March by 2 lengths. So there's not much separating 1 and 3. And then follow the market with regards to Street Art. First run for Tony Peter. If the money comes, you can't ignore him.
Yeah, thank you very much, Darren. There is a comment in the front of the computer form. So the comment reads, working well back at home, number 2 Street Art. So perhaps you want to include that at 9-2. Here's a barpot suggestion from Darren Burrows. Almost a straight line. 1 by 5, by 3, by 1, by 4, by 3 and 8. If you take that for 50 Rand, you're going to have it 24 times. It's just a skeleton, if I can say it like that. You can add, subtract. If you don't like horses, then you're more than welcome to play around with that bipod. Let's update that slide. Let's see what Daryl Marie likes in the bipod. He's played it a bit wider. He's gone 1 and 3 in the first leg, so Jet Dynasty and Future Wolf by 3, 5, 6 and 10, by Banker 3, by 1 and 3, by 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, by Banker 3, and that's going to cost you 96 Rand. So we're on to race number 3. This kicks off today's place accumulator. It is the Racing 240 for Racing for You maiden plate. It's over 1,800 meters, and your favorite at the top of the boards is Mun's Night at about 33-10. Darren, what can you tell us about Mun's Night? I thought mighty unlucky in its last 2 starts. Is this the horse they need to beat? There's some value over there.
Brandon, he's overdue now. He's finding good form of late. His penultimate start, when I say a bad ride, it was a shocking ride. He got caught 6 wide around the bend, angled all the way to the outside, costing him the race for sure. Last time out, good effort behind Quantifier. If Quantifier was in a race like this, he would be 1-10 on. So Man's Night, he could get it right. I think he'll turn the tables on Wonderworld on that run behind Mamba Comtesia. The improver could be Every Cloud. only had the 2 starts and Pierre Stratum in the saddle.
Yeah, look, I think I've said enough about the ride with regards to Mun's Night. I mean, the work rider just did everything the wrong way around, looped them into the straight, as Darren said. Daryl, I've always said it and I'm going to stick by it. I don't think it was a great ride. I've obviously spoken to Mano Pandaram with regards to that ride by the work rider. But these things happen. I mean, that's part of the risk you take if you're going to run these horses in those work riders races. And he was mighty unlucky.
Yeah, Brendan, don't you and Darren Burrows really want to tell us how you feel about that ride?
Well, Darren, you know what? Daryl, you were upset.
Yes,
obviously,
yeah.
with a few rides
Yeah.
that happened, and
No, it happens,
you know
yeah.
what I mean. I think I did get too emotional in terms of the call, because I think it's just for the pub. I mean, we're here for the punters, we're here for the public, and when you see that sort of thing, we can't
Yeah.
keep quiet about it.
No, absolutely. We need to voice our opinions. I mean, we're not here to be muzzled. You know, Brandon Man's Night, obviously he holds Wonderworld, and he should reverse on the form with Wonderworld in the penultimate race, Mambo Camtesio. But he's not going to Hollywood. He's very average. If things go his way, he could certainly win a maiden. Wonderworld seems a bit one-paced. I'd like to see him closer on the pace, if not lead. I could see him easily reversing that form, because neither of them are very talented. Luck in running will determine the outcome. Air Fusion, I don't know if you've seen this horse move to the start in the past. What a lovely looker. I mean, just strictly based on looks, this horse will win more than a maiden. I can see him improving, definitely. Gavin sticks with him. From a one draw, perhaps he gets put into the race this time around, because in his penultimate he was dropped out from the worst of the draw. And the filly is very average. But you know, 3.5 kilograms in a race of this nature could swing it in her favour. So I'm not getting into this race confident whatsoever.
Yeah, it's probably hard to be overly confident. Some of them are going to battle along the way, but I think Mun's Night surely in this race must get it right. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of the graphics up on your screen. That will be the place accumulator. Darren Burrows, he's gone banker 5, by banker 3, by banker 1, by banker 4, by 3 and 8, by 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, by 1, 2, 5 and 10. And that's going to cost you 40 Rand. So you can take this PA a few times. Hopefully we can double up where Darren's gone quite wide at the back over there. And Daryl Marie, let's see how Daryl's playing this PA. He's gone 3, 5, 6 and 10 in the first leg, by banker 3, by 1 and 3, by 4 and 10, by banker 3, by 5, 7, 8, by 2, 5, 10 and 11. That's going to cost you 192 Rand. Let's go on to race number 4, the first leg of today's pick 6. You need to be on by 1:15, where number 2, Spirit Princess, is your joint 5-2 favourite, with number 3, Ida Bell, 4 Antananarivo's at 5-1, and it's 13-2 and better bar those. Darren, Spirit Princess, I thought a nice run last time out. It's obviously consistent. Goes up to the 1800 metres. Pierre Stratum's been booked to ride. Is this the horse they need to beat?
Not for me, Brandon. I was very strong on Idabal. Now, last time out, I fancied her strong, and that horse, Unyielding, just got first run on her, and she was closing the gap hand over fist down the inside. Suggesting the 1800 is going to be ideal. I thought she was a 15-10 shot, so 5-2 in my eyes was good value. And I've chosen to banker this filly in all my bets.
Nice fighting talk. Good talk there from Darren Burrows. So Ida Bell, there's lots of value to be had at the moment, because you're getting 5-2, and he's of the opinion 15-10 should be the price, number 3. Daryl, are you reading the same sort of page?
I think there'll always be money for a Pierre Stratum mount with form. So I'm not too sure if she's going to shorten, but Pierre Stratum sticks with this filly, Spirit Princess. I had a look at her breeding, Brandon. Her dam stayed a mile and a half, 2,400 meters. A lot of stamina on the dam side. Third run after arrest. If she gets a clean break, I can see her winning. But I'm also favouring Idabel. I was impressed with her effort last time out. You know, that was on a fast inside track. This is going to be a testing, longer running. I think that's what she's looking for. I think we will see the best of her of this distance and possibly even 10 furlongs. So Idabel ahead of Spirit Princess in that order.
Yeah, look, Daryl, if I can just quickly go back to you for a minute. I know that we obviously have time restraints and we can't spend too much time doing the recordings. But, I mean, the form lines, Spirit Princess last time out, I know that it was Katira went off 5-6 lengths clear the field. And then Unyielding, I mean, that Work Riders race was going up and down. So probably not horses you want to get overly excited about.
No, exactly. I mean, the fillies represented over here are below average. But you've got two fillies that are both in a good space currently. So they're representing good form and they're both ready to exit the maiden ranks. Whether they can go on with it thereafter remains to be seen.
Well said. Very well said. Let's go and jump into those selections. Let's see what we're doing for the first leg of the Pick 6, race number 4. Darren Burrows has gone banker 3 over here, so Ida Bell, he's quite strong on this one. By banker 1 in leg 2, by 1, 4 and 8, by 1, 3, 6, 8, 9 and 10, by 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 and 11, by the big F at the back, and that'll be Field, and that's going to cost you 1,584 rand. So we're on to race number 5, the first jackpot. It is over the marathon trip of 2,400 meters. 13:55 is the off time. Just another reminder about that social media, the strap up on your screen, and you can jot down all the information over there. All right, so we're going to dive straight into it. I'm having a look. 3 Absolute Value 28-10, 1 Angel's Wish 7-2, the 5 Pacific Express at 6-1, 4 Royal Mazrin 7-1, and it's 8-1 and better bar those. Darren, what do you like over here? Absolute Value, gutsy performer out in front. Angel's Wish won a very good race last time out. Looks quite trappy.
For me, probably my best on the card is Angel's Wish. Now, since being stepped up in trips, she ran second behind Afrod, staying on really nicely. And last time out, at the 400-meter mark, her running got taken up and she had to ease off heels and switch. And she still managed to get up to win. I say if the gaps open at the 400, she wins by 2 to 3 lengths. She's got the apprentice allowance of 2.5 kilos. And I think she'll win. I can't believe the price of 7-2. As I said in the race before, I thought Angel's Wish more of a 5-2, 2-1 shot.
All right, yeah, there's Angel's Wish. Obviously, the yard's in good form. I mean, Wayo Moying's doing very well at the moment. And Donald Geertsen, a big congratulations for his win with Future Pearl on Sunday afternoon at Turfentine Racecourse. Daryl, Angel's Wish. We know that Wayo Moying is an absolute king at getting these horses to stay. I thought Absolute Value, obviously a horse that will probably go off and lead them. Gutsy perform, and we can never write off Great Affair, but been very busy.
Yeah, firstly, touching on Donald, was that his parents that led him into the winner's enclosure?
Yes.
Okay.
That was his parents.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Well done to him. You know, Angel's Wish, I have to agree with Darren wholeheartedly. If the gaps opened for her last time out, she trots up. So for her only having to carry a 2-kilogram penalty, I think she's slung in over here. She's loved being stepped up in trip. I'll make her very, very hard to beat. What's it? Absolute Value, Brandon. Sorry. These are an apprentice race, and we know they can get carried away. But Gabriel Peters is one of the more experienced apprentices, so I don't think he'll be caught in a pace duel. If this horse gets to the front, we know it's gutsy. It can sit up second or third. It's in very good form. I mean, how can you fault a form? The form, 2 winners and 3 seconds from his last 4 outings. Stays well. Stable's in good form. He'll be thereabouts, but I'm certainly favouring Angel's Wish. I think she's going to prove very, very hard to beat.
So both Darren and Daryl seem to be quite big on the source Angel's Wish. And like I say, Donald Geertsen, obviously the confidence there at the moment. He had that good win with Future Pearl. So everything points to Angel's Wish. You're getting 7-2. It's a pre-recorded show. That price is going to shorten up race time. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections. Jackpot 1, Daryl Marie's only gone 2 horses over here. 1 Angel's Wish and number 3 Absolute Value by Field in leg 2, by Banker 3, by 2, 5, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And the spend's 120 Rand. If you are going to dive into this jackpot, you need to be on by 13.55. So we're on to race number 6, and it's actually a lovely race on paper. The Racehorse Owners Association merit rated 96 handicap, 1,000 meters. So we up the straight over here. Mover and Shakers back in town. That's trading at 3-1. 4 Trompies at 9-2. 8 Set to Goes at 9-2. It's 5-1 the 10 Smith and Wesson, and it's 11-1 and Better Bar those. Darren, highly competitive sprints. Obviously this was Mover and Shaker. A nice horse on his day. You've got Trompy, who I know they've always thought quite a bit of. Set to Goes there in the betting. And then Smith and Wesson, if they go quickly up in front, which I do predict they're going to do, he'll be finishing off hard.
Yes, Brandon, there's a lot of pace in this race. I like a lot of Trompy here. Now, the drop-in trip's going to suit because he is a 1,000-meter horse. They've put the tongue tie on Keegan DeMello in the saddle. He would have acclimatized after having 2 runs on the Highveld. And I just feel this is the right race for Trompy to finally get another win under the belt. I make the immediate danger Mover and Shaker with a 2.5 kilo claim. He's really in form. He's really good over the 1,000-meter trip. And then Set to Go. Now, I think the drop-in trip's going to be ideal. On a line of form with Mover and Shaker, he's as much as, I think, 6 kilos better off at the weights. So, Trompy to beat numbers 1 and 8.
Yeah, nice race. Let's see what Daryl Marie likes over here. Daryl, competitive. I mean, there's a lot of speed over here. Does that set the race up for something to run on?
It could potentially. But, you know, if the track is what we predict it to be sticky, maybe you want to be up on the pace. I don't know how much ground you can make up on a wet track. Trompy, yes. I mean, he's beaten Mover and Shaker and he's 2.5 kilograms better off on the American Tour run. Looks like he's having his peak run going to be at his best now, or close to his best. But then again, Hit Them Hard Sunshine was also having his peak run and he ran his worst race over the weekend. So I do fancy his chances. Mover and Shaker, ultra impressive. There's no doubt his latest victory was his most impressive to date. The handicappers saw it the same way. I mean, they lumped him with an £8 penalty, and that race cuts up terribly. I mean, there wasn't much happening behind him on that occasion. So I think that's the reason why they put the apprentice on, to take some weight off his back. I can see him winning again, but off his current rating, he's going to have a tough task. Just shows you how this game works, Brandon. Now, Smith and Wesson, in his penultimate start, we labelled him. We didn't want to know. Put our money on, and we came out stuck. I think the race really wasn't run to suit. He just couldn't get that cover, and he was slightly over-racing with Marco. And last time out, we had our maximums on Kian the Conqueror. And who came to win? Smith and Wesson. So I'm going to stick with him. I actually think he's in a really good space. If you can just track the leaders like Mover and Shaker, Constable, Trompy, I can see him running past them. I think this is very, very competitive. Even a horse like Lucy English, blinkers on for the first time. She loves it up the Vaal straight. So she's got her issues, but I've played wide in this race, Brandon. If that's what you want to know, I've played wide.
Now, it's not easy. It's not an easy race by any stretch of the imagination. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections over here. Race number 6, Darren Burrows does suggest a win bet on Trompy. That's number 4. He's a 3-year-old bay colt. Brett Crawford, the trainer. Keegan DeMello's in town to ride this individual. He's got all the ability in the world. He's currently trading 9-2. If you are going to have a strike, you need to be on by 2:30. So we're on to race number 7, the start of Jackpot 2 being a 10-race program. 3:05 is the off time. Book a table. Call 011-6811-796. Merit rated 80 handicap. It's over 1,000 meters, and the market at the moment has number 3 Mini Coupe at 9-2, 6 Stormy Seas 11-2, 8 Captain Dizzy 11-2, and the 10 Tre Amicis 11-2 at 6-1 and better bar those. Darren, help us. Very open race. There's a few with chances over here.
Yes, I thought, you know what, I think the market's going to end up with Mini Coupe and Captain Dizzy dominating. I could be wrong, but Captain Dizzy on his comeback run on the Highveld was very impressive, and he could now go on with it. It is a punting stable as well. Mini Coupe, now the drop-in trip could be ideal. He ran second behind Sheldon 3 runs back. The last 2 efforts with the blinkers on, he moved up strongly. Maybe just the 1,200 too far last time out. So Mini Coupe and Captain Dizzy to fight it out. And then include Tre Amici with a lightweight, Stormy Seas and Bronco Blitz.
Look, I think Daryl Marie is also quite big on this horse, Mini Coupe. We'll try and get that input in just a moment. 9-2 favourites, and Keegan DeMello's been booked to ride for Candace Dawson. Daryl, you've been telling me about one horse for the last few days, Mini Coupe. Nice hold-up sort of a horse. Just needs the gaps to open.
Yeah, I don't want to know about defeats, so Brandon. This is my strike for the day. Let's just say if Wonderwall didn't win earlier on the day, I think this is also that's going to turn it around for Candace. I think the stable, there's no doubt, has been quiet, but it has to turn sooner or later, Brandon. The way I read this race is there's a lot of pace towards the outside in Tre Amici and Axel Collins. Now, Tre Amici should be able to reverse that form. I mean, he's 4 kilograms better off for a length and a half beating, but Tre Amici and Axel Collins are both in good form. I'm not going to be bothered about their chances. I think Mini Coupe's just going to be tracking them towards the outside. From what I saw in his later start, the 1,000 meters is going to be ideal. His penultimate start, we saw Godswood win 2 from that form line. We saw Tread Swiftly win from that form line. I think he's worth a strike. I really believe this is his race for the taking.
There we go. 9-2, decent price. Let's hope that can arrive for us, because that will save the week. Mini Coupe at that sort of a price. I remember that run going back to Chiavana, where Tread Swiftly was also mighty unlucky. Mini Coupe was low flying late in the day, and if things work out for him this afternoon, he could be a hard horse to beat. Let's see what we're doing in terms of selections. Darren Burrows, it is the start of Jackpot 2. He's gone 3 and 8 in the first leg by 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, by 1, 2, 3, 5, 9 and 10, by 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And it's only going to cost you 360 Rand. Hopefully you up a few Rand by this time, and we can give this Jackpot 2 a full go. It's gone to race number 8 over here, and this is a good race. There's a few horses that are in good form at the moment. It's the betontab.co.za merit rated 82 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters, and the favorite at the moment is Caliber Crest at 33-10. Number 7, 5 Mojive 5-1, 6 Bloomington at 6-1, and it's 13-2 and better bar those. All right, Darren, what can you help us with over here? There's a few horses in good form. I know this horse Caliber Crest won a good race last time out. He's a lovely looking horse.
I thought a very tricky race. You know, you got Caliber Crest who returned after a lengthy layoff, but he loves the Vaal, and he won a good race with 60 kilos. He did give Batik around 9.5 kilos. That was a good win. You got Blue Waters that absolutely flew up last time out over 1,200 meters. So the 14 could be ideal, and Keegan DeMello takes the ride. Mojive, a very good horse on his day. Maybe the blinkers could do the trick. And then you got the course specialist, Stormy Winter. Clyde and I fancied him last time out at 25-1. He never looked like winning. At the 200, he still had about 6 lengths to make up, and he absolutely flew to get up to beat Kian the Conqueror. You're probably going to see similar tactics if the speed's on, and he'll be lashing home late. I don't know if he'll get up in time, but he's definitely one to include into all your bets.
All right, yeah. Does look to be competitive. I'd imagine a lot of the punting public out there will be focusing on the swingers, exactas, trifectas and quartets. Not a race where you can really put your head down, Daryl. I think there's a few horses that are obviously improving. Caliber Crest, thought a nice win from a long layoff last time out. He's a lovely looking horse. He would have come on from that. Bloomington in good form. What do you like?
Yeah, don't know what to say over here. I think Caliber Crest, nobody will be surprised if he notches up another comfortable victory. I thought last time out he was ridden with a lot of confidence after that layoff. And for him to have given Batik 9.5 kilograms and quickened on by like that, possibly in need of that outing, you have to be impressed. Then you got Mo Jive now, blinkers on for the first time. Gavin sticks with him. You know, last time out I thought it was a very encouraging run in that he ran above his rating. He was out at the weights on that occasion. Back in a handicap, you could certainly see him going well. Having a look at this number 8, Double Magic. Now, he's never really been one of my favorite horses to follow, but I thought there was some life in his later start, Brandon. He was staying on in the latter stages. Now, Mini Coupe represents that form line. Take note, it appears as if he enjoys the sticky conditions. He's having his peak run. He's unexposed of the 1400, and he's the type of horse that does have that early toe. If Musi can bounce him and get him into a good rhythm, comfortable, not doing too much, he can bounce back to his best form. He's come down a bit in the ratings. I think this is tricky, so I've gone wide over here.
It does look that sort of a race. We're going to pop up those selections. Let's see what we're doing here in race number 8. Some sort of a guide for the punting public out there. Daryl Marie likes these pick 3s, and he's gone 5, 7, 8 over here. By 2, 5, 10, 11 by field at the back. If you take it as is on your screen, 144 Rand is going to be the spend. You need to be on by 15:35, and race 8 is to be run over 1400 meters. Let's move along to race number 9, the penultimate on today's 10-race program, the www.tab4racing.com. Merit rated 68 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters. And you can take out number 3 After Hours. That has unfortunately been scratched. In this particular race, number 10 Mabaneng is your 33-10 favourite. 2 Iron Tail 4-1, 5 Batik at 4-1, and it's 6-1 and better bar those. Darren, wide open race. Interested to see how this horse Iron Tail goes. I know he's always been a nice horse to follow. Mabaneng finding form. What do you like in a wide open contest?
I like a bit of Iron Tail here. He's a lovely looking horse. He's big action. He's won from 1 over course and distance a while ago when he got up to beat the hot favourite Admiralty Arch. That was his first run on the high fault that time. He seems to be a bit off form in his last 2 starts, but in this type of company, he's going to run a big race. With course, now he's a course specialist. He's only got the 59.5 after the apprentice allowance. And that was a good effort behind Caliber Crest with the pacifiers fitted last time out. You got Batik with 53 kilos with a 4 kilo claimer. This filly could be competitive. And then you got to include Mabaneng with only 51.5 kilos. Just one more to include, Silver Clock. I think she's going to improve.
Let's go to Daryl. Let's see what he likes. Iron Tail, we'll have to watch the way he goes down to the start, Daryl, to see if there's any confidence over there. I mean, with Cars, even though he's 7 years old, he ran a lovely race last time out over 1,400 meters. And then Mabaneng, the filly, I mean, she's finding form. She actually moved up a winner in its last start and just found too good on the day. I see he did run 3rd in that 1,400 meter contest. But what an open race. What do you like?
You know, Mabaneng's in cracking form. She's very, very fit, and she's got, 51.5 to shoulder. Trained by Sean Terrier, fit, fully in good form, with no weight. Yes, she must be one for the shortlist. Let's see how this apprentice goes. What's he? The bush racing apprentice. Apprentice Lihaba. He came from a bush racing background. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now you know. What's his name? Kaboli. Yeah, bush racing background, Brandon. His first ride wasn't a bad ride whatsoever, although he got a suspension on a Mace Roberts horse. I think it was called Slim Yanni. Iron Tail, now this horse, we all know he's got his problems, but take note, he races extremely well fresh. So, time off the track, sticky conditions, if it is sticky, will be in his favour. But you know, the Spice Yard, Brandon, they're not exactly there yet. Although they're thereabouts, they're just not firing yet. Maybe this is horse to turn it around for them. Now, name one apprentice, Brandon, who you thought was going to battle when he loses his claim, and currently he's riding out of his skin. Phyllis Sunday. Mpoli, how well is he riding?
No, he's different class, and he's a good. He's very. I mean, can I say? I mean, he's a gentle sort of a rider.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
he gets his fractions right.
No, and horses run for him. So I think number 11 over here, Meet the Captain, he's really going to suit her. He's going to give her a quiet ride. She's really come down in the ratings. I know After Hours is out of here, but she would have been 4 kilograms better off with him. And these apprentice races, they tend to go very quick. And she's able to finish her race off. So I think if there's one that could potentially upset over here, is number 11, Meet the Captain.
Yeah, Filasande Mqoli, he's riding at the top of his game. I mean, that was for Tyron Zaki the other day at Turfentine, home of the Brave. I thought it was an excellent ride. Diesel and Dust over the weekend, excellent ride. So Filasande, keep up the good work, and we're going to see if he can arrive over here for the guys at a decent price. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections. It is the penultimate on today's 10-race program. Daryl Marie's gone with Meet the Captain. The number 11, 5-year-old Bay Mare, Filasande Mqoli rides for Stephen Moffat. And it'll be great for Dougie Lawrence to have a winner. Good to see these silks still around. All right, so that's it. That's the 9th race. Some value for us in studio. 4:05 is the off time, and it's over 1,400 meters. So we're on to race number 10, and it goes off at 16:40. The next vaal race meeting will be Thursday, the 11th of May. This is a merit-rated 68 handicap, and it's over 1,400 meters. And Daryl's already been telling me off air that he doesn't like the look of this race, and I've begged him, please do not come on air and say no comment, because the punters do need all the help they can possibly get. Yeah, he's got a big smile next to me because that's what he was going to say, and I've comfortably put him in his place and said, you cannot do that because the punting public need you, especially in a race of this nature. Yeah. Number 9, Timbavati River, 7-2, 6 Conquer the World, 4-1, 3 Spring Will Come, 6-1, and it's 8-1 and better bar those. All right, Daryl, so I've given you 2 minutes to study this particular race. What do you like?
Nothing. Yeah, Brandon, no doubt, this is the hardest race in the card. Let's just have a look at this filly's form up the straight, and that's number 4, Rocking the Time Away. I think her form up the straight is better than what it is when she goes around the bend. We've seen moderate fillies trained by Fani Bronkhorst, who one thought would really battle outside of the maiden ranks, hold their own in handicap company and go on with it. So she could potentially fall into that category. I think she'll be thereabouts. Back to basics. It was a fair debut for his new yard. I actually think this horse is better than his current form. So I'm expecting a much improved run from Back to Basics. So if you want to take a chance, maybe double float those in a quartet. But really, I'm not standing here confident. Or sitting here, Brennan.
Can I ask you something quickly, Daryl, before I do go to Darren Burrows, who's waiting patiently on the line? This was written in stone for some reason, jumping off the page at me. Is it a runner?
Yeah, I think this is Darren Burrows' favourite horse because it won him a huge sum of money. I'm not too sure if he's gone with it today, but this horse, in my opinion, will enjoy the sting out of the ground. He hasn't really been moving fluently, so he's having his peak run. He could potentially pop up. His rating plummeted. So, yes, I can have that.
All right, let's go to Darren Burrows. Darren, I believe you're still living off the money you've made. Was written in stone in the past. He's 7 years old, getting long in the tooth, but I think he's a serious runner over here now that his rating's starting to drop.
Yes, Brandon, that was back in 2020. I think it was his last victory. But last time out, not striding out, he doesn't go down well. And that's my concern. He's had the two comeback runs. Fair effort over 1200. Last time out over the 14. I'm not sure what to make of him, but in this type of company, he's got to be competitive if moving well. I saw a bit of value with Super Secret, the Fabian Habib runner. Now, this filly won her maiden in the wet conditions, the soft conditions. She's had 5 starts for a win and a place in the soft. And I thought there was a good effort behind Quasi's lady in her penultimate start. I just feel this track and trip, she's unbeaten course and distance. We could see big improvement from Super Secret. Then you got Timbavati River and Conquer the World that should also be competitive. It's probably the hardest race on the card.
Very difficult race. I do agree with you. We're going to go with an exacta box to wrap up proceedings. 6, 7, 9, 10 and 11. 6, 7, 9, 10 and 11. Take that exacta box. 20 Rand is what it will cost you. The next vaal race meeting will be Thursday the 11th of May. Thanks to all our Weighted to Win followers. We'll chat again soon. Hit them hard. Bye-bye for now.